But to be honest, I have no idea what letter Giannis Antetokounmpo starts with, so we can make it with anything.
Why the Bucks can win it all this season. Give me 3 good reasons, Izzy. Let's hear it.
All right. The first one, I believe, is balance. Okay. Like you've got a lot of teams that can be, top heavy. You've got some teams like, let's just say the Suns who are relying on a big three, if you will, and then hoping that the rest of their team can fill in those gaps. With the Milwaukee Bucks, you already know that you have a deep team, a deep caliber, a championship caliber depth in that group. When you talk about, winning a playoff series, you obviously need your number one guy to be really big. But after that, you need your number 2 guy to win you a game. You need a couple of role players to win you a game.
Chris and Drew and guys.
And so with Chris Middleton rounding into form, he's probably going to have, by the first, second round of the playoffs, be in good form, probably be able to give you a 30-point game. If you've got, Drew Holiday, while he might give you, a 3 for 20 game every once in a while, he's going to give you, perhaps near triple doubles. He's going to give you games where if he's going to be the aggressor, he takes so much pressure off Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Everybody has their role.
And then, you talk about a guy like Bobby Portis. Like, would you be shocked, Ros, if Bobby Portis ends a second-round playoff game with 25-12 in a Bucks win?
Nope.
Yes.
Absolutely not. So they can beat you in any number of ways. And so that's why of all these teams that say, hey, we have a formula for winning, we know how we can win, I think the Bucks have a few wild cards in there. So that balance is what really is my first reason for why they can win it all.
Okay. The Bucks got depth. What else do they have? What would help them win this chip?
Well, defense wins championships, right? And obviously, I was watching a Heat game the other day, and it has nothing to do with the Bucks, but the path that the Brooklyn Nets were taking to the rim, it was as if there was absolutely nobody standing there to deter you from going there. And when you talk about the Bucks, it's the exact opposite. Like Brook Lopez is going to make you think twice about going to the rim.
Brook's so strong with the block that he ends up on his back.
And oh yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo is there as well.
I went to take a tinkle, it came back.
All of that length, all of that, that second guessing that you have to do as you're going to the rim, that is just going to drive teams mad, especially over the course of a 7-game series. Like you're going to have to rely so much on your outside shots going. Even the Sixers obviously have some good shooting around Joel Embiid, but is that what's going to make you feel good going into a playoff series? Hey, my shooters are going to win it for me? No. I think the only team that can actually say that is probably the Golden State Warriors. They've done it before.
Ahead to Curry. Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang! Steph Curry!
And so if you go into a series against the Sixers and say, hey, Embiid's not going to win it for me, but my shooters are, that's advantage Bucks. And so I think defense right off the bat, reason number 2 for the Bucks.
All right, so the Bucks, they'll make it tough for you in the paint. They're defending at the rim. They got the defense. They got the depth. Is your third point also starting with a D? Because that would be cool if you did 3 Ds to the Bucks championship.
Ooh, man, I didn't think of that. I should talk to you about these things beforehand. But to be honest, I have no idea what letter Giannis Antetokounmpo starts with, so we can make it with anything. But Giannis is the actual third reason. And it's because, look, when everything goes wrong in a playoff series, and at some point everything will, you're going to need one guy that you can just, jump on his shoulders and carry you. And there's nobody better suited than Giannis, which is crazy to say, right? Because you would think, maybe a Kevin Durant or somebody that can just make shots easily. But no, Giannis can do it when his shot isn't falling. He can, give you a 30-point triple-double and, maybe the shooting percentage isn't there, but he'll give you 17 free throws. He'll dictate the tempo of the game. He'll get a lot of stops. And I think it's 100% pressure-free with him at this point. He's got his MVPs. He's got the championship. He's basically looked at as the best player in the league from his peers and from us in the media.
I'm getting old and weird.
So you go and you say, all right, if I'm going to have one weapon, it's going to be that guy, the ultimate, not just utility knife, but the ultimate sort of do everything leader in the playoffs. And so that's reason number 3, even though it probably should be reason number 1.
Right. Well, whatever the order is, whether it's Giannis defense, depth defense, Giannis, that's a pretty good formula they have there to put together en route to trying to contend for a championship. Give me the other side of this, Izzy. Like, what's something that could stop the Bucks from making it all the way?
Yeah, so I think it's just shot making, to be honest. And, you look at a Drew Holiday, who I love when he gets aggressive, but there are some times, especially, you remember there was some moments last playoffs where he was just overly aggressive and you're thinking, wait a second, why are you 5 for 21? You shouldn't be taking all these shots.
But I was good today.
You know, Giannis is not your sort of selfish superstar, if you will. He doesn't need all the shots. He doesn't need, I mean, probably needs a high usage rate for creating, but he doesn't need to finish all the time. And so if those guys are not making shots, if Joe Ingles isn't really providing much creativity from the pick and roll, if Grayson Allen is not really hitting multiple threes, but then is getting sort of taken advantage of on the defensive end, I think that things can go a little awry. For as good as this defense is, their pace is fast. They like to play a decent pace, and they'll give up 120, 130 points randomly. And so I do think that that's going to be what would be their downfall, is if they're not feeling good with their shot makers, and if Giannis isn't just dominating in the paint, maybe their defense is a little shaky. Maybe they turn the ball over a few times and allow for the defense to get some easy baskets. So while they do have some flaws, it's not an obvious flaw. And when you look at around the league, there are no teams that jump out at you as obvious favorites. And so, yeah, they're going to have a flaw. You just kind of have to stretch it a little bit with Milwaukee, because it's not something that's just, obvious.
Yeah, because the Bucks, they're the Bucks, and their case is very strong. We appreciate you making the case for the championship hopes of the Milwaukee Bucks, and we'll see if that comes to fruition.